So last week I was having you explore and find an interesting three-dimensional form that you make out of, cutting and gluing, scoring cardboard, maybe sewing little things and stuffing them, maybe doing origami, whatever you wanted to do, turning 2D things into a 3D thing. If you found a really interesting shape, which hopefully you did, or an interesting form that you created, and you had fun making it, now you're going to make it in multiples. I want you to make lots of them. It's something that you can do while you're watching TV or you're just kind of bored, and you'll see yourself get better and better at doing it. When we're in class, we do this as a group. And at first people kind of struggle a little bit, but after a few classes, it's almost just like factory, just like banging them out. So whatever you made, I want you to make a bunch of them. As far as a number criteria, set yourself a goal depending on how intricate what you're making is. More than 5 maybe. It depends on the size of what you're making and how much time goes into making each one. I kind of want you to be the judge of that. We're going to be putting them together into a sculpture and a modular sculpture and construction, but we're going to take a few weeks just to be building them, and then we'll talk about color schemes and so forth. If you made 2 kind of interesting shapes that you want to put together, you could make like half a dozen of these and half a dozen of these, and then your module could be the 2 put together. That would be fine as well. If you wanted to turn it into something like a flower or something representational, you can. Or if you wanted your little pieces in the end to be put together into one representational thing, you can, or you could just leave it non-objective. I'm going to show you some examples of some really nice modular sculptures, and when we start to put these together, some 3D work of students that they've done in the past, as well as famous artists and some of their modular constructions. But before I start showing you images, I kind of want you to work without having an idea where you think I'd want you to go. I like you to kind of find your own path, and then we'll meet back together with those ideas. If you wanted to embellish some of them, like you're like, oh, I've got a bunch of these like from orange bags or whatever, you could totally put these or anything, any kind of materials or junk you have around the house. If you want to just experiment and be creative with turning the forms into different things, you could totally do that. Just have fun, play around, and make multiples. I know I'm not giving you the clearest instructions about how many and what size, but I mean, that's going to be unique to what you want to work with. I just need you to make a bunch of your little forms. So we just want a pile of little forms, and we'll work on next week putting them all together. And it's something that you can just kind of do while you're doing other things. Our objective here is to, whatever your form was, make a handful of them, make a bunch. They can all be different sizes. You can make little mini ones, one big one. You can make them all the same size. This is up to you, but you want to have a nice little stockpile. Maybe find like a little a delivery box or a bag that you can kind of keep somewhere. Wherever you make one, you just throw it in. So that's our next step right here, is just making lots of these little forms, and be creative, experiment, and have fun with building them.